Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to Spartan Minor Hockey. Tonight we have the Junior League. We have the Cougars and the Sharks. Cougars in their white uniforms with the maroon trim, and our Sharks in their regular teal blue. We'll get right into live action here. It's a puck right from center. It's dumped in by the Sharks. Comes around in the center zone, knocked away. Picked up by Copper. Fired around at the blue line. A little bit of scramble. And the Cougars send it right back into the end zone of the Sharks. Around the back of the net. Sharks have to regroup behind their own net. They try to get organized. Knocked in there by Goddard. Goddard sent around behind the Cougars net. Comes out to the other side by the blue line. And they scramble for it along the blue line. Nice move there. We've got a 3-on-1 breakaway now for the Sharks. They come all across the blue line. Scramble for it at center now. Comes inside the blue line. Knocked out quickly by the Cougars defense. A race down the ice. Scramble right at the side of the net there. Quick shot right across the goal mouth. And nobody there to tip it in. As Goddard sent it right across the goal mouth. Nobody there. Race back down the other end. As the defense looked a little scrambled right across the goal mouth. And it went right across dead center. And didn't cross that red line. And the Sharks had their big chance there. And down come the Cougars the other way. Fired up over the blue line. Knocked in by McKitty. McKitty knocked it into the corner. Over to Ormerod. Ormerod sidesteps one check. Fires right across. He scored! Just off the goal skate of goaltender Murtaugh and into the bottom corner. So the Cougars jump into a 1-0 lead early over the Sharks. The Cougars are right at this moment are the undefeated team in this division, and they've got a good offensive unit, and you can see it right there on that quick goal. 1-0 to score early for the Cougars over the Sharks. From the face-off, nice play there. The Sharks come right back into this high game. Slap shot, score! Not too often you see a pint-sized player like that with a big slap shot, and he sailed that one right into the bottom corner. Nice passing plays. It comes and slides in. And in comes the winger. And he just lets her fly off the heel of the stick of goaltender Jennifer Holton into the corner. 1-1 the score. Early in this hockey game, both teams exchanging goals. From the face-off, it's sent right back into the Cougar zone. Or into the Shark zone by the Cougars. Cougars try to hem them in a little bit there as they push on the offense. Sent around in the corner. Scramble behind the net of the goaltender, Murtaugh. They still scramble along the boards, comes out to the side. Puck fired back into the corner. Cougars also right on that loose puck. Slid back into the side of by the boards. Picked up there by Ormerod. Ormerod slides it across to the blue line. Picked up there. And fired right on net quickly. Sharks also right on the loose rebound, right across the goal mouth. And Stephen Young had a chance there to tip it in and couldn't get a stick on it in time. Comes back to the other side. Picked up there by McKitty. Tim McKitty tried his chance. Sends it right across in front of the net. For Ormerod, his long shot. It's knocked down in front of the net by the Sharks defense. Scramble for it, picked up by Goddard, fired into the corner. Goddard had a chance at a shot, couldn't get a good stick on it. Finally picked up in the corner by the Sharks. Comes to near the blue line just as the buzzer goes for the line change. And both teams exchanged goals, but the Cougars had the measure of play down in the Sharks' end zone for most of that shift. So the score still remains 1-1 early in this first period of play. Face-off just out at center now as the bigger line comes out for both teams. And the Cougars still the undefeated team in this division, with the Sharks just trailing. From the face-off, comes back to the blue line, fired in by Troy Ormerod. He fires it deep into the corner, around the back behind the net, picked up there quickly by the Cougars. Goes into the corner, picked up there by Sapotnik. Sapotnik, he's hammered into the boards by the Cougar offense there, fired around again. Sapotnik digs it out, throws it around behind the net, goes into the behind the net, picked up there by the Cougars forward line. They can't get control of it, knocked around again by LeBurge. LeBurge tried a shot. They stopped by goaltender Dave Murtaugh. Brian May. Knocked all the way down. Stopped at the blue line, and down come the Cougars again. Flipped out at the blue line, kept in at center, knocked around, picked up by Sapotnik. Sapotnik sends it deep into the Shark zone. Knocked down by Robbie Holt as he's hit by Adam Ross in the Shark defense. Right across the goal mouth, just past Manny. Another shot, kicked across. Manny knocked that one to the other side. Comes back near the blue line. Cougars couldn't keep it in, and down come the Sharks, 3-on-2. Stopped at center, and the Cougars also right on that loose puck. Knocked down Stephen LeBurge by 17 Secord, and they send it the length of the ice, and Cougars have to go back and pick it up. Cougars started out on their offensive rush, fired up to center, tipped over the center blue line, picked up there by LeBurge. LeBurge sends it over the blue line, dumped in to Holt. Holt couldn't get a shot away, scooped away, finally grabbed onto by Manny, and he holds on for the faceoff. Good hustle so far by the Cougars as they've kept both the defensive units busy for this Sharks team by pressing them all the time. From the faceoff, knocked over off the faceoff by Robbie Holt, back to the blue line, fired all the way back in deep into the zone, knocked away. Cougars still putting on the pressure, comes back near the blue line, sent back in deep behind the net, picked up there by Sapotnik. Tries to squeeze it in behind the net, comes back to the blue line, stopped there by Ormerod. Ormerod right on goal, tipped just wide. Comes back out right into the slot area. Picked up there, long shot. Back to the point, Ormerod, long shot, right in front of the net, tipped away by LeBurge. And again, the Cougars putting all the pressure on. Still the score remains 1-1. All the pressure's been on goaltender Brian Manny so far in this first period. From the faceoff, knocked over by Holt to the far side. Comes back to the blue line, long shot tip. Caroms off a skate right in front of the goal mouth. Scramble for it. Finally, number 77, Adam Ross, has to fall on it. Kicks it into the corner. Picked up there by the Cougars. Fired right across, right in the goal crease of Manny. Finally knocked into the corner. Scramble for it behind the net. LeBurge sends it right across the goal mouth. Nobody there. Comes to the other side. Picked up there. Scramble right in front again, and Manny had to kick that one out to the side. Another scramble. And LeBurge standing right on the doorstep of Manny, and he still couldn't put it into the net. The score still 1-1 early in this first period, and goaltender Brian Manny's been a busy player out there so far. Just as the buzzer goes, and I think Manny might be glad to see the end of those big guns for the Cougar team so early in this hockey game. Seen a lot of rubber out there so far, as it's been all one-sided for the Cougars. Face off deep into the Shark zone. To the right of goaltender Brian Manny. Referee having a few words with the wingers on the Sharks who didn't want to get off the ice right away. Make a complete line change for the Sharks. Scramble in front, knocked away by Egan. Comes back to the blue line, right on the line. Just slid out outside. Nice move there, got by Egan. And the Sharks try to get organized, but right away the Cougars send it right back in deep again. Goes deep in right in front of his own net. Quick shot. And nice save there by Manny. Bad defensive move there for the Sharks as they gave that one away. And Egan was waiting right on the spot to have that quick shot. And down come the Sharks out of their own end zone. Knocked around, picked up there by Marwick. He couldn't get over center. Goes back, picked up by Ralph. Ralph sends it off the boards and down into the Cougar zone. And icing on the play as he fired it from his own side of center. And almost a giveaway there as the defense left goaltender Brian Manny all alone in front of the net. And Egan couldn't pop it in home, take the lead there for the Cougars. Score 1-1 early in this hockey game. Cougars and Sharks. From the face-off deep in the Shark zone, comes back outside the blue line to center. Fired around, knocked away. Whoa, and a big check by Egan on the Sharks forward, sent him to the ice. A long backhand off the shoulder of goaltender Jason Parise. Comes back out in front, fired around, knocked out down the ice by Stuart Levitt. Sharks trying to get a little bit of pressure going here, fired around again. And the Sharks putting on a little bit of pressure as they pick up the momentum here in this first period. And down come the Cougars. Finally, they cross the blue line. Egan over center to the other blue line of the Sharks. Tips it right in front. Kicked out easily by Brian Manny all the way back to the blue line. Stopped there by number 5. McKitty, he keeps it at the blue line, sends it back in deep, right in front of the net. Launch out to score! A little tip shot there by Rickman, slid by Manny, and the Cougars have taken the lead. Not one of the biggest players out there, but one of the biggest hustlers. And Rickman pops in one to put the Cougars in the lead, 2-1, the score for the Cougars over the Sharks. From that faceoff, hustles in there by Andrew Egan. Egan pushed into the corner boards. 2-1 the Cougars hold on to that 1-goal lead now. Slides it in, picked up by Levitt. He couldn't go nowhere with it, and down come the Sharks. Sharks cross the line. Richard Ralph crosses the blue line. Long shot. Whoa, underneath the stick of goaltender Jason Parise. He misjudged that one. He kicks one off to the side. Another shot. They couldn't get it up in the air. Parise kicked that one out right in his goal skates. He stands up, kicks it out, and out come the Cougars. They break away after having goaltender Jason Parise make a couple of big saves. Knocked in over the blue line. Just as the buzzer goes, 2 Cougars cross the blue line on a breakaway. And they still hold on to that 1-goal lead, 2-1. Cougars scoring a big goal on that shift to take this 1-goal lead here in the first period of play. Face off back out at center. With the smaller lines back on for both teams. Goaltender David Murtaugh is getting set in the Sharks net from the face-off. Sharks start right back in over across the blue line. Puck comes into the corner, fired over the side, and Sharks get it out to the blue line. Stephen Young got it out over the line, knocked right back in again by the Sharks, and it's sent right back out into the center zone by Goddard. Sent down the line there. Stephen Young hustles in, but Sharks defense hustles back, picks it up first, goes behind the net. Sharks. Nice move behind their own net. Try to get control of it. Puck slides right in front. Spin around shot by number 5. McKitty, he couldn't get a good wood on it and slid wide of the net, and down come the Sharks. Big hit there on number 55, Copper. Goes into the side. Again, the Sharks try to get it back out. Knocked on the wing to Cooper. Cooper knocks it out to the blue line. And the Sharks trying to get out of their own end zone as the Cougars send it right back in deep again. Puck goes into the corner, picked up there by number 66, Billy Cooper. Cooper for the Sharks, sidesteps one check. Cuts out in front of his own net, steps by another check. Nice move there by Cooper as he slid it right between the defender's legs, and he races down on a breakaway. A beautiful move by Cooper. He shoots, he scores! And what a move by Cooper on that play to go right by the defense. Billy Cooper with a dazzling goal. All alone, put himself on the breakaway. Goes in, and there's the open corner, and he finds it. And slides it right into the bottom corner. He pulled goaltender Jennifer Holt well over to the side to make that an easy goal. 2-2 the score, and a goal by Bill Cooper, and some beautiful moves in the open zone, open ice zone. And that ties up this score. From the face-off, it's dumped right back into the Sharks zone. And down come the Sharks again as they send it Down the ice, got a race for it as it goes into the corner. Hit behind the net there, knocked around, puck goes loose, squirts loose, comes to the side of the net, finally fired in behind the net, and the Cougars try to get out of their own end zone. Knocked out by Ormerod. He gets it all on. Breakaway pass for Stephen Young if he can catch up to it, but it's going to go all the way down and handled easily by Murtaugh, and he sends it out back towards the blue line. Poke checks at the Sharks. Blue line knocked away. Handled easily by Joshua Higgins and fired right back in. We've got a 2-on-0 breakaway for the Cougars. Long shot. Nice save by Murtaugh. All alone was Ormerod and Young, and they finally did poke it home. A second effort on the way of the Cougars, and they've taken a 3-2 lead. A quick shot, and it's right on the stick of number 5, McKitty, who's standing right at the edge of the goal crease, and the Cougars take a 3-2 lead at the end of that shift. And good hustle there by Stephen Young to fire that backhand pass right onto the stick of McKitty. So the Cougars take a 3-2 lead at the end of that shift, just as the shift was coming to an end. And that 1-goal lead brings up the bigger guns now for this Cougar team, as last time they were on, they had a volley of shots at goaltender Brian Manny. And in they come right away again. Another shot. Manny squeezes that one off the Robbie Holt backhand. Face-off will come out just to the right-hand side of goaltender Brian Manny. He's been busy facing this line on the Cougars. Run the face-off quickly battered away by Holt. Holt couldn't get it away, comes back to the defense. Spin around shot, goes right into the center zone. Sharks try to get it right back out again. Cougars center right in on the edge of the goal crease. Scramble right in front of Manny, knocks it to the side. Tries to get back up on the skates, goes down the slide to stop it again. Sharks get it out to the blue line and out and down the ice. And the Cougar defense also back, pick it up. Ready to start the rush. Once again, fired around on the boards by Ormerod. Ormerod left it there for number 9. Andrew Egan. Egan sends the pass up on the wing. And it's knocked down there quickly by Sapotnik. Sapotnik knocked the puck down and is offside on the play. Goaltender Brian Mann even busy facing this line for the Cougars. They still trail 3-2 in this hockey game. From the face-off just outside the blue line, quickly fired into the end zone of the Sharks. Knocked down by Ross. Ross couldn't get control of it, fires it to the side of the net. Again, the Cougars putting on the pressure. Quick pass to the side, knocked down by Egan. Egan couldn't get control of it, right on the edge of the goal mouth. Another quick shot, stopped by Manny. Big chance there for Robbie Holt. Comes to the other side. And down come the Sharks, kept in at the blue line again by this Cougars offense. Goes into the corner, fired around by Ormerod. Goes into the corner. Cougars pick it up, fired it back. Knocked around, picked up by Robbie Holt. He couldn't get a good shot away. Comes to the other side. Knocked in, fired at the corner. Goes into the corner by the defense, goes right back to the blue line. Long slap shot by Ormerod. He couldn't get good wood on it. It's blocked by the Shark defense. Again, the Cougar defense keeps it into the blue line. Fired to the blue line and not out. Kept in. Good hustle there by the Cougars. Quick move in front of the net as the Cougars applying all the pressure now at the side of the net. 3-2 the score here in the first period. Of the Cougars have all the pressure on right now. Fired outside to the blue line, kept in. Long shot by Egan. Keeps it inside the blue line, knocked down by Adam Ross of the Sharks, and he tries to get it to the blue line, but not out. Scramble goes in behind the net, knocked down by Robbie Holt. Holt tries to throw it in front from behind, couldn't get good wood on it. Holt again, waits, moves by one player, slides it right to the side of the goal mouth, and with number 15, Jason Sapotnik, standing right on the goal mouth, Brian Manny come up with a big save and holds on for the face-off. 3-2 the score. Cougars holding on to that 1-goal lead and pressing. When the face-off goes right in front, a quick shot just by Manny, by number 15, Sapotnik. Couple of good hits there in the corner by the Cougar forwards. And out comes the Sharks on the Cougar defense as the buzzer goes. And that whole shift was spent in front of goaltender Brian Manny, and he's been the busy man out there against that line. 3-2 the score remains. Here in the first period of this Spartan hockey game, Cougars holding on to that one lead over the Sharks. Front of face-off just outside the blue line is dumped back right in. Shot blocked there by Jamie Rickman. Rickman sends it in for the Cougars. Again, the Cougars put on the pressure, keeping it hemmed in this Shark zone. Fired around back behind the net. Grabbed around, fired to the blue line, and out. Down come the Sharks. Two of them sidestepped the defensive. We've got a 2-on-1. Knocked in quickly by Marwick. Marwick couldn't get a shot on net, but it's still kept in by the Sharks. To the inside of the blue line, knocked out by Melissa Levitt. Levitt sent it down the length of the ice. And down come two of the Cougars on the Sharks. Sharks grab off that loose puck and fired out to the blue line into the center zone. Stopped there by Levitt. Levitt fires it right back in, deep into the Sharks zone, and the Cougars are pressing again. Stopped at the back of the net. The Sharks defense fires it out to the blue line. They get it to the line, not out. Knocked around, quickly handled by Rickman. He sent it in deeper, and the Sharks get to the blue line with 6:31 remaining in the period. It's knocked right back in again, and the Sharks send it right back out to center. Quick race for it, and down come the Sharks on the wing. Now one out alone, goes in, shoots, and a big squeeze of the legs there by Parise, and he just handled that shot with no problem. Comes back to the blue line and just outside the edge of it. Knocked out by the Cougars, and down comes number 4, Rickman. Rickman lost the puck at his skate, sends the pass up on the wing to Stuart Levitt. He couldn't handle it. Goes into the side. Levitt finally sends it up over center. Fired right back again by the Sharks. Knocked down, and the Sharks try to cross the blue line, and they're offside on the play. Sharks have had a couple of opportunities. Goaltender Jason Parise with a big save there, squeezing the big pads on that puck and knocking it into the corner. From the face-off, slid right across the blue line, and down comes three Cougars all on a breakaway. Long shot to clear it in, just went wide. Goes into the corner, scramble for it in the corner. Both teams scramble for it. Finally, it's fired around back behind the net after a little scramble behind the net, and the Sharks send it outside the blue line. As far as Levitt, she managed to keep it in on the blue line. Fires it all the way deep back into the Shark zone with 5:01 remaining in this first period. A steal right in front of him, man. He had to be quick on that one. As a Cougar player just came from nowhere and took the backhand on that weak backhand play. You'll see on the replay, the defenseman just lets him take the backhand shot. And a quick one by number 9, Egan, kept goaltender Brian Manny on his toes. So the score still remains 3-2. Late in this period of the hockey game. From the face-off, picked up there by number 14. And fired around in the corner as the Sharks can't seem to get out of their own end zone as the Cougars are pressing all the time deep in this end zone. Finally knocked out to the blue line, sent right back in again by number 6, Ormerod. Ormerod, he couldn't get control of it. And it's finally buzzer for a line change, and the Cougars have had all the pressure so far in the last 2 shifts here late in this first period of play. Score still remains 3-2. Sharks jumped into the lead, then Cougars came right back with 2. And with 3:42 remaining in this period, the Sharks have got to get some offense mounted as they've been all back on their heels trying to hold back this offensive power of this Cougar team. From the face-off, quickly dumped right back in by the Sharks all the way down to the Cougars' end zone. Fired right back out at the blue line. They got it to the blue line. It's just out. Knocked down. The Sharks couldn't get control of it though, and it's stolen up by McKitty all alone. McKitty goes in, waits, shoots. Oh, and he's just stopped at the edge of the goal crease by Murtaugh as he lost control just at the edge of the goal crease. McKitty all alone. Murtaugh gives him the whole side of the net, and then just at the last second, ding off the goalpost, and it didn't cross that red line. So the score still remains 3-2 with 2:42 remaining in the hockey first period. Down come the Cougars. Crossed into their own end zone, and finally the Sharks dump it into the Cougar zone. Two of them cross the blue line. Cougars take control and fire it back into the corner again. Goes a far side. McKitty goes over to pick it up. Fires it up a leg and outside the blue line to the blue line and over. Stopped at the line again. Knocked around, sent back right in by the Sharks. Sharks trying to get some control as they trail by 1 goal here late in this first period of play. And it's dumped out, sent around on the boards by Ormerod. Ormerod couldn't get outside the blue line, finally knocked it to the blue line and out. 3 Sharks meet him right at the line with 1:50 remaining in this first period. Dumped right back in by the Sharks. Ormerod had to come back, set it up and knock away Cooper. Sent right back in again by the Sharks. Cooper steals it away. And it's stolen and knocked back out to the blue line. Battle for it at the blue line, knocked down quickly by Higgins. Higgins couldn't get a good shot on net, just sent it into the corner. And once again, the Cougars have to go back behind their own net, regroup and start over. They fire a bad pass right over in front of the net by Ormerod. Long shot. And goaltender Jennifer Holt kicked that one off to the side and knocked the net off in the process. And they still hold on to that 1-goal lead as the Sharks seem to be picking up the tempo and pressing a little bit here in this hockey game. Time running out in this period with the Sharks trailing by 1 goal, 3-2. All goals came early in this hockey game, and since then it's been a goaltender's duel for the rest of this period. From the face-off, dumped out, got a race for it, and down comes Stephen Young all alone. Young, too, with 35 seconds left. Young goes in on goal, takes the long shot off the skate of Murtaugh just as he was hauled down. At the side of the net, puck squirts loose. Finally comes out, one of the Shark defensemen come out with it and brings it down the ice to the blue line. 17 seconds remaining in the period. Long race for it, and down comes the Sharks on a breakaway. Long shot, and Holt pulls it in and holds on. With only 3 seconds left in this period, and the Shark player is pulled down. You see on the breakaway, he's just caught it just as he shoots it. Both players go down heavily onto the ice. And goaltender Holt just laid sprawled out and pulled the puck underneath. So the score remains 3-2 to start the final period of play, and the Cougars, who dominated the majority of this period, still hold on to that 1-goal lead, 3-2, as the Sharks had a chance right near the end there to get a play and tie the game up. They just couldn't capitalize on that opening behind goaltender Jennifer Holt. So the score remains the Cougars 3 and the Sharks 2. Start the final period of play. From the face-off, Cougars get control. They lost it right off the bat there, and it's fired to the other side. Cougars get it back again as they cross the blue line. Sent right back in by Sapotnik. He couldn't get a good shot on net. Fired to the side. Ooh, almost right in front of his own goaltender. At the side, a quick backhand. It's good! Number 15, Sapotnik, in the right place at the right time. Got Brian Manny going the wrong way. You'll see on the replay, the puck slides nicely over to Sapotnik on the backhand. He doesn't even hesitate. Over the goaltender's shoulder, and there it is behind him. And Manny had no chance to move on that one. And that makes it a 4-2 hockey game. from the face-off. Steal by the Cougars. They couldn't get over the blue line, sent right back to their own defense. Fired in deep. Sharks have to go back and reorganize behind their own net. Fired around on the corner, comes back to the blue line and out. And it was offside on the play. Final period of play, and the Cougars jump on with a quick goal. Now take a 2-goal lead, 4-2. And it's going to be an uphill battle for the Sharks, the way the Cougars have been playing with this big line out here so far in this game. From the face-off, goes back to the blue line, fired right back out again. Dumped into the corner, all the way around, picked up by 77, Ross. Ross couldn't get a hold of it completely. He falls as he turns the corner, give the puck away, knocked in by LaBerge. He couldn't get a shot away, comes to the side of that. Sharks try to get it back out again. Knocked down and fired out by Secord. Secord to the blue line, left it there. And once again, the Cougars steal it and come right back in again. Long shot, rink wide, comes into the far corner. Picked up there by number 18, Robbie Holt. Holt, they left it there and it's sent back outside the blue line. And Levitt couldn't reach it to keep it inside, and he'll go back and pick up in his own end zone. Levitt behind his own net. Waits to set up the play for the Cougars. They start out over the blue line. He couldn't get a good pass away. Knocked right back in again. And around the corner by Cooper. Goes around the boards. And down come the Cougars once again, setting up a rush. Knocked into the corner. Fired around back of the net. And the Cougars dump it in behind the net. Hustle in after the puck's knocked around by the Sharks to the far boards of defense. Nice passing play, sets himself up of going down the boards, and the Cougars tried to outrace number 8, Stuart Levitt, and couldn't get there in time. Levitt behind his own net. Sends the puck up on the wing, fired down to the blue line, couldn't get control of it, knocked down there by number 18, Robbie Holt. Holt couldn't get control of it, finally knocked right out by the Cougars, and the Cougars start down on a rush, 3-on-2 rush. Nice move right in front of the net by 18, Holt, and he's just spun around at the last moment, couldn't get control of it. Goes back into the corner. Holt waits, sidesteps one of the Sharks defenders, slides it right in front, and a beautiful passing play, slid right onto the stick of LaBerge, and no chance for Brian Manny on that one. Couple of nice moves, splits the defense right here, slides it in front, and it slides right onto the stick of LaBerge and into the net before goaltender Manny can move on it, and that makes it a 5-2 hockey game. A big shift for that line that time as they completely controlled the play and added a couple goals there to increase the lead to 5-2. And that makes it a 3-goal lead now for the Cougars over the Sharks. And they've slowly chopped away at goaltenders Brian Manny and David Murtaugh to build up this 3-goal lead. From the face-off, quickly grabbed up, fired in over the blue line by Bossman. Bossman couldn't get control of it, and the Cougars come right back down again. Cougars, 3 of them cross the blue line together. Pass, hit a skate, knocked down quickly, and out come the Sharks out of their own end zone. Holt couldn't make the hit. Dumped all the way back in and around. Melissa Levitt missed her check, and it stopped easily and handled by that Cougar goaltender. Face off just out to the right of Parise. Knocked away quickly by the Cougars, who jump on every face-off. Sent right back to the defense. Bad giveaway there. Knocked down by Clement. Clement couldn't get his shot away. Knocked away quickly again. And Marwick couldn't get a shot away. Goes right back to goaltender Parise, and he gives it over to Melissa Levitt. Levitt lost control, comes right back to her again. Levitt behind her net. Tries to fire it out, gets control, fires it back to the blue line. Knocked down quickly and kept in by Marwick. Fired again, kept in by the Sharks defense, and knocked up quickly. He's got a breakaway all the way down to the Cougars alone. Oh, he just fired it inches wide as Levitt stepped around the goaltender and couldn't keep control of going by the net. And the score remains 5-2 and a big chance there for Levitt. Puck came out to the blue line, kept just at the blue line by Levitt, sends it back in over the line. Battle for it just across the goal line. And the Cougars putting a lot of pressure on now as the Sharks have to get the goals, and they're being hemmed in their own end by this Cougar offense. Sharks try to start out from behind their own net. Knocked around, figured out by Marwick. He got to the blue line. Stopped there, fired right back to the blue line by the Cougars. Again at the line, it stopped. And out come the Sharks over center. Three of them cross the blue line together. Moving all the way right in. Quick shot by Secord. Lost control. And Levitt sends it around back of the boards. Comes right back out to the front of the net. Shot blocked at the defense. Goes into the corner. Another shot goes off. And again, the Cougars send it outside the blue line to the center zone. Fired around. And it's all the way down the ice and into the corner. Sharks getting a little over anxious on the play and had too many players hemmed in that end zone with the Cougars on the outside of the play. Face-off just outside the Cougar blue line now. From the face-off, knocked away. Sharks hop right on that puck as they need the goals fast now. Knocked in quickly by Secord. Secord got it towards the net, takes his own rebound, couldn't get a good shot away. Comes to the side of the net, knocked back into the corner by Parise safely. Sharks trying to get a good battle going into the corner again, fired in behind the net. Stopped there by Levitt. Levitt. Manhandled there by number 17, Philip Secord. Secord couldn't get it in front. Levitt knocks it away. Still trying to get it away herself. Fired into the corner and picked up there by Ormerod. They finally, Cougars start over the blue line. Just as the buzzer goes to end that shift. And the Cougars had a little bit of problem getting out of their own end zone in that shift there. As the Sharks have come to life and try and get back in this hockey game. They trail 5-2. The Cougars in the lead by 3 over the Sharks. Late in this final period of play. Face off back out at center. With the Cougars holding on to that 3-goal lead. And time running out on the Sharks. From the face off, scramble, knocked down by Goddard. Goddard lost control, and the Sharks try to get control at the blue line. Knocked down quickly again by Ormerod. Kyle Ormerod sends it down all the way to the Sharks blue line. Scramble at the blue line, picked up by the Sharks defense and fired right back out again, and down come the Sharks. Sent all the way down, and Kyle Ormerod sends it back out over the blue line into the center zone. Hammered right back at him again by the Sharks. Knocked away and kicked into the corner by LaValle. Goes into the corner. Down come the Sharks. It was knocked into the corner, knocked in safely by Jennifer Holt. Couldn't get it away from herself, and it goes into the other side, picked up there by Higgins. Knocked around on the side, picked up by Clement. He couldn't get a shot away. Again, the Sharks are putting on a little bit of pressure. They need a goal. Fired into the side, knocked down. And again, the Sharks applying the pressure, but they can't get any points out of it. Comes around on the side, picked up by Clement. Clement, he couldn't get control. Knocked down and fired into the corner. Copper lost it, and down comes the Cougars as the puck goes loose into the corner. Shot right in front of the net. Oh, and it just caromed off the side of the goal mouth, and they scored! Number 1, Stephen Young. The goaltender moves out to save it, and there it goes off the edge of the goalpost, and as it comes to the side, it's just a complete slap right there past the stick and into the net, with Ormerod and Young standing right side by side, and the Cougars now got a commanding 6-2 lead here in this hockey game late. With time running out on the Sharks, it's a 6-2 game now. Both Kyle Ormerod and Young were all standing right there at the side of the net, and it was popped home before the goaltender could move on it. Sharks trying to get a little bit of speed going here. Knocked down by Lavelle. He couldn't get outside the blue line. Finally pumps it out to center and tries to beat the defense. The puck's stolen away quickly by Kyle Ormerod. Ormerod got it to the blue line. He's stopped there by Clement. And 3 Sharks overskated the play. And it's sent back to the blue line by the Cougars, and they send it out into the center zone. Knocked in quickly by Billy Cooper. He couldn't get any farther, and it's fired out and down the ice all the way right on net by the Cougars. And goaltender Murtaugh couldn't get control of it. A big sweeping play, and too bad for number 1 Stephen Young as he sidestepped Murtaugh but couldn't put it into the net. Murtaugh just kept on pushing it far enough so they couldn't reach it any farther. Now we've got a race going the other way, and it's fired off into the corner by Ormerod and sent safely off the boards. Comes to the far side again. Back right into the Cougar zone. They send it outside the blue line in the center zone. This is the buzzer goes for another line change here, and another big shift for the Cougars as they did manage to pop one and increase that lead 6-2 the score. After the Sharks have been all tied up early in this hockey game, the Cougars have completely taken over here late in this game and added the insurance goals that they needed. Face off just outside the Sharks end zone, blue line area. And trailing by 4, they have to get right on top of goaltender Jason Parise in that Cougars net and puts them in the goal. Run the face-off. Right away the Cougars jump on it, sent into the corner by Robbie Hole. Hole sidesteps 2 checks, slides it right in the goal mouth. Didn't quite make it through, goes back to the blue line. Sent back into the corner by the Cougar defense. Hole bumped off the puck, and down comes the Sharks as they send it out to center. And once again, that Cougar defense stands its ground and sends it right back in. Behind the net of the Sharks goaltender, Brian Manning. Scramble at the back of the net, picked up there by LaBerge. LaBerge couldn't get complete control of it. He's knocked down by Secord. LaBerge gets it right back again. Tries to throw it in front. Puck comes back to the blue line. There's a long slap shot off a skate. And we have a penalty on the play against the defenseman of the Cougars. And the faceoff still inside the Shark zone. Cougars try to tip it just wide of the net, knocked out to the corner by Manny. Fire right to the side of Manny. The scramble comes loose, and Manny has to hold on for the faceoff. And he freezes that puck quickly before any more damage can be done. Score still remains 6-2. Cougars in a commanding lead. Faceoff just to the left of Brian Manny, who's been the busy goaltender so far for the Sharks. Cougars still shorthanded on that penalty to the defenseman. When the faceoff comes back to the point, fire right in front, quickly fired back in on the side of the net. Cougars try to set up a play, kicked into the side of the net. Goes right across in front of the goal mouth and stolen away. Down come the Sharks. Down the winger, both Sharks 2-on-1. And Secord sent it around behind the net. Nobody was there to get it. A good foot race there, and Secord just couldn't get a good shot away. Comes to the side again, knocked down. Thrown on the corner, and the Cougars try to get back and set up. Fired right back into the corner again. Thrown around, tried to set up in front, picked up there by Sapotnik, and he sends it back to the blue line and out. Down comes 18 Robbie Hole. Hole tries to set up a place. Swerves in front around the 2 defense, gets a shot on net, and Brian Manny holds on for the faceoff. Holt looking for the man in front of the net and decided to just finally shoot it after nobody was open. Got a good shot away, and Brian Manny had to come up with a save. Score still remains 6-2, with the Cougars still undefeated and in a big lead here so far. There's a quick shot. Stopped, knocked away. LaBerge got a shot away. Comes back again. LaBerge sidesteps 1 check. Sends it right on the goal. Whoa, just carrying about the side of the goalpost and went wide. Fired right back into the corner again. Knocked off around the boards. And the Sharks send it out. And the buzzer goes to end that shift with the Cougars, even though short-handed, had many chances on goaltender Brian Manning. So with time winding down here in the final period of play, the Cougars trying to add to that lead of a 6-2 score. Face-off just outside of center. From the face-off, dump back to Cougars blue line. They quickly send it out and down the ice. Goes into the corner. That's picked up there by the Sharks defense. They try to set up a play, couldn't get going. Comes right in front of Manny. Score! A quick twist around by Levitt, and he got goaltender Brian Manny unexpected. You'll see in the replay, he just kind of stole it right here at the side of the net. Pulls it around Manny and into the bottom corner before Manny can slide across and grab it. And that increases the score to 7-2 as the Cougars continue to make the most of their opportunities and put them all in the net. 7-2 the score. Cougars over the Sharks. In and dumped down the ice by Kyle Ormerod. Ormerod got it to the blue line and not out. Bonnie's knocked overside the blue line and down the ice. Goes all the way down by goaltender Brian Manning. He leaves it for defense. They try to slide it out in front. Puck slides dangerously in front of the net. And it's picked up there by the Sharks defense. And Craig Clement tries to get it out. He's poke checked. Had another chance. He tried to knock it away again, and the Cougars continue to put the pressure on. It was knocked away from Stuart Levitt, no, down the ice. Picked up again there by Bosman. Bosman couldn't get a good crack at it. Picked up, stolen away by Stuart Levitt. Levitt. Poke check just over the blue line. And finally the Cougars lose control and the Sharks dump it out over the blue line to center. Fired right back to the blue line by Ormerod. And it's dumped right back out in the center zone as the Sharks send out three attackers across center, knocked around by Ralph. Ralph couldn't get control of it, and it's knocked back in by Levitt. Knocked around on the boards again. Picked up, and right now the Sharks are having problems getting outside the blue line. Here comes three Cougars all alone. The puck, and a nice big save there by Brian Manny. Made the big save, a 3-on-0 breakaway. And up come the Sharks down the ice. 2-on-1 across the blue line. Fired across, pass on the wing. Quick shot by Marwick. And a game for Rize with the big legs. Goes off to the side. Comes out and down comes number 9. Egan crosses the blue line all alone. Steps in around the goalie. Nice save there. Oh, and he fired right across the goal mouth after Manny had made the big save. He couldn't get control of it. Goes back down around the other way. And out come the Sharks. To center. Over the blue line. Sharks cut in. Kicked out by Parise. Goes around to the other side. And down come the Cougars out to their own blue line. Sent off the boards, and we have a 3-on-1 breakaway now for the Cougars. Pass back on the side, picked up there nicely by Andrew Egan, who got the shot away just as the buzzer goes. To end that shift, and a big shift for the Cougars as they now lead 7-2. Face-off, small line back out there for both teams again. Sharks try to drop it back in. Higgins couldn't get good wood on it, just sent it in shallow. Now they slide right back in beside the goal. They shot just wide of the net, goes by the goalpost. Goes to the far side again. Picked up in the corner. And they fired in the corner. Now we have 4 Sharks waiting to set up a play. Comes to the side of the net, knocked down by LaValle. He couldn't get a shot away. Tries again, couldn't get the second shot away. Another quick shot. And that one's knocked out by Jennifer Hall. Goes into the corner. Strata couldn't get a hold of it with 6:45 remaining in this hockey game. And it's knocked out by the Cougars to center and down the ice. 3 Cougars cross the line. Try to send it out in front, nobody there. Quickly, the Sharks come back, pick it up, try to get it going here as they trail by a big margin of goals. Some fancy stick work in front by LaValle. They try to get going.
Forecast when we come back.
We'll find out if any more storms might.
Nice goal by the Sharks as they 3 of them went in over the line with Cooper and LaValle crossing the line, and into the net it went. Behind goaltender Jennifer Hall. Goaltender Jennifer Hall back there to make the big save. Copper's in there all alone, and boom, it's a home free goal. And that makes the score 7-3. Closes the gap a little, but I think it's a little too late with a big 4-goal lead late in this hockey game. Fired up over the blue line. Brace for it. Steve Young cuts in over the line, tries a shot. Knocked down in front of the net just as the puck comes to the corner. And a big hip check there just inside the blue line by McKitty. And down come the Sharks once again to get out to their own blue line and send it down the ice. Fired in over the blue line. Fired over to the far boards, comes off the boards. Sharks applying the pressure now. Shot into the corner by Higgins. He couldn't get any farther. Sharks again steal it back. Knocked in front of the net, scramble. Cooper tries to beat the goaltender. Holt up close, couldn't get by it. Stop right at the blue line. Sharks try to get control. Knocked away. Now we've got a 2-on-0 breakaway as 2 Cougars break down the ice. 2 of them all by themselves. Here comes the Sharks defense to get back. And a big save by Murtaugh. A 2-on-0 breakaway for the Cougars. Murtaugh comes out with a big save right in front of the net. Goes over to the far side after it went through Murtaugh's pads. Squeezed over to the far corner. Puck goes behind the net, scramble. Knocked down by Goddard. He couldn't get a good pass over in front of the net. And 3 Sharks come after him right away, try to get the puck loose. Comes into the far side and down come the Sharks. Just as the buzzer goes, with 4 minutes remaining in this hockey game now, and a commanding 7-2 lead. See a 2-on-0 breakaway. 2 Cougars all alone on goaltender David Murtaugh. And the defenseman just comes in last second. Murtaugh stands his ground and comes up with a big leg save. So the score still remains far spread apart as the Cougars and Sharks battle it out here in the final minutes of the game. Cougars 7, Sharks 3. Less than 4 minutes remaining in the hockey game. Fired into the corner. Cougars try to set up another one, comes out in front. Manny knocked it into the side, squeezes his pads, holds on for a face-off. With time running out on the Sharks, as the Cougars have built up a commanding lead late in this hockey game and have their big gun line out there once again to see if they can add to that lead. Fired out to the side, right out in front. Manny knocks it safely into the corner. Sharks try to get a hold of it. Goes into the corner, knocked down there. Spotnik couldn't get a hold of it. Fired right back in again. Goes around in the corner again behind the Sharks net. Knocked down by Robbie Holt. Puck's knocked down loose. Comes right out loose in the goal crease. And finally the Sharks break out of their own end zone. Sharks, 3 of them to center. Knocked down quickly. And fired around in the corner. And James couldn't get anywhere. Down come the Cougars, right back in again. Fired out to the blue line to center safely. And the Cougars go back and regroup, start over with another play. Out to the blue line. Levitt. He's poke check, dumped into the corner. Ross sends it around back behind the net, goes into the corner on the other side. Bumped out of the way and safely thrown in the corner by James. Two Cougars try to get it out of their own end zone. They can't get it out. Fired off the boards past Ross. And down come the Cougars once again. A quick passing play. Up on the wing. And 18, Robbie Holt stumped just as he let the shot go. Comes to the side of the net. Holt scored! The little squeeze play in between the pads of goaltender Brian Manny by Robbie Holt, and that increases the lead. Good effort by Holt as he comes out from behind the net, and just as Manny spreads his legs to get over, off one pad and into the bottom of the net. No chance for goaltender Manny as he had to spread to slide to the far side. 8-3 the score. Cougars have increased it by 5. Comes into the far side. Holt dumped to the ice, picked the loose puck by Sapotnik. Sapotnik tried to get a shot away, stopped by Manny. Scramble in front of Manny. Puck squirts loose. It's underneath the defenseman. Another quick try by Sapotnik. He couldn't get it by Manny. Manny finally closes the big trap run and holds on for a face-off. So the score is 8-3 now. The Cougars have jumped into a commanding 5-goal lead late here in this hockey game. After being tied 1-1 or very early in the game, the goals came in a bunch for the Cougars, and they've commanded the game since. Cougars number 18, Robbie Holt, fires it to the side of the net, nobody there. Cougars quickly jump on that loose puck. Fired to the side, right out in front, right by number 15, Sapotnik. He couldn't get control of it. Comes in front again, another quick shot. And Manny with the big save. As the game ends, the final score, the Cougars 8 and the Sharks 3. This is Glenn Sear for Spartan Hockey and McLean Hunter Cable TV. Thank you very much.